It's bonus episode time! Whoop, 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 whoop! On Cosmere Chronicles! The podcast where we follow two first-time readers, Justin and Sheta, and we chronicle their journey through Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere series. On today's bonus episode, we'll be going through some one-star reviews of Mistborn, the Hero of Ages, and getting Justin Sheta's reactions. So now, let's throw it over to the host of Cosmere Chronicles. This is Joe! Yep, everyone, we're back once again for some one-star reviews. Yay!
Woo! Oh, howdy, I'm excited.
Everyone's favorite bonus episodes.
That's the only reason I agreed to join this thing.
Why?
Because I love one-star reviews.
Oh my god.
This time, we are doing one-star reviews for the book Hero of Ages. Similar to The Well of Ascension, you have to keep in mind that at this point, people who are reading this, they've already read two other books. So either they like both those books and go into this one and just got so disappointed, or they already hated the first two books and just forced their way through this one.
Joe, you forgot about the person who, for God knows what reason, started with this book. Could be possible.
There is that. And so with this, these are all one-star reviews that I found on Goodreads. At the time when I looked, Amazon did not have any one-star reviews for this book. And, yeah. And hopefully this episode is only going to be in one part. Because, yeah, going behind the curtain, how we edit these, we don't record all the one-star reviews at once. I do them a couple times.
Yeah, Sheta wouldn't survive if we did it all at once.
And then I edit them later. And yeah, hopefully it's not as long as Well of Ascensions, and I can keep it all together. But anyways, let's go into Hero of Ages with our first review. Did not finish about 5 hours into the book. I'm sorry.
5 hours?
Yep.
How long does the book take to read? How long
like
is the
8?
audiobook?
Like 25 or something like that?
Okay. That makes sense then.
I'm sorry, me and this book are too different. I loved book 1. Tried my best to finish book 2, but book 3 got to me. Reading about Elend, and not Kelsier, feels like going to a Queen concert featuring Adam Lambert instead of Freddie Mercury.
Well, I certainly wouldn't do that either, but I don't know if I'd compare the two things.
Enough is enough. There are too many amazing books out there.
I mean, there are a lot of amazing books. My question is, how did you make it through book 2 if you felt that way? I feel like the Elend in book 2 is way less like Kelsier than in book 3. At least in book 3, he's got powers and is doing stuff. In book 2, you're just watching him talk about politics and failing at it. Pretty much the opposite of Kelsier in every way.
Maybe it's because he gets more like Kelsier and is trying to be like something. You know, because I wouldn't like Adam Lambert trying to be like Freddie Mercury, you know what I mean?
No, I don't know why anyone's
get off the stage.
That. Makes no sense to me.
I always think it's fascinating. People who quit on the third book. I'm like, sure, he's 5 hours in, but you're also 2 books in 5 hours in, you know?
Yeah, you're a lot more than 5 hours in. That is true.
Yeah.
I can't think of a time I've ever done something like that, unless maybe like the writer changed or something.
I've done it in a show when
when it jumps
I guess
the
I
shark,
have done
right?
that. Yeah, it jumps the shark, or like the character I really have been we've been following the whole time. Like the main character dies in a random accident, and then
and that was in book 1.
Yeah, so it's not really the same. I've never done that before.
Well, we agree with you on one thing. So that's more than we usually get out of these.
All right. Now let's go on to the next review.
Wait, that was the whole review?
Yeah.
I thought he was going to say so. Okay. I was so interested to see more after that Adam Lambert comparison, but okay, whatever. Bro like Kelsier.
I honestly wish I could Eternal Sunshine this book and the entire whiny series from my mind. There wasn't a single character I liked. Okay.
How did you read so much? Oh my god. Holy moly. I didn't know people's perseverance to just read their way through a series was like, I started this, I'm going to finish it. I didn't know that was so strong in people.
Okay.
Like I'm no quitter.
Yeah. Yeah, people He's stubborn and or
I guess.
persistent. Really persistent.
Must be, yeah.
Okay, maybe the Soother and Ham were tolerable.
He remembered a guy's name. That's pretty good.
He knows what a soother is. Like,
Yeah. So he did read it.
uh-huh.
What's worse is that I read the entire series, thinking it might get better. In the end, I kept reading, hoping that Vin would just die.
Jesus. Well, then you got your wish. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
At times, it felt like I was reading an episode of Dragon Ball Z with all the talk about her power level, which, by the way, is over 9,000.
What?
That's a reference to the Dragon Ball dub, Sheta.
I know the reference. I'm like,
okay.
why is it?
Yeah, why he
This
said
guy-
that, I don't fucking know. I am not very confused.
Maybe this guy was drunk when he wrote this. That's the kind of thing I say when I'm drunk.
Well, I think he's saying that they talk about how Vin's so powerful all the time, so it's like an episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, no, I got that.
Yeah, but why the reference?
Because that's what people
It's like
do.
a little joke. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. The series flaunted Vin's poor damaged persona like a banner. It wasn't so much a weakness as it was a flimsy character trait. The worst crime of all was that it didn't make me care. Not about the ska, not about Vin, not about her annoying rich husband whose only defining trait is constantly talking about duty, and not about the world the author created.
Wouldn't you say that his duty within the world the author created was the primary thing he actually talks about the most?
Oh, is the duty not in the world? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, how's that not related to the world the author created?
What duty is it that wouldn't be part of the world? Sorry, that's that. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
I will concede that the Inquisitors were pretty cool, as were the Kandra. The whole idea of the medals and the powers was well thought out, but ultimately, the series left me feeling cheated. I love some young adult fiction from time to time, but this book was just not for me. But it does appear to be for others. So yeah, rant over.
Well, that's fair. Not for me is for others. Reasonable. Yeah. Again, though, you should never read or watch something expecting it to get better.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Like, if you're not into it, you're not gonna get into it. And if you read something that you feel like that about, I feel like then you know already. You know, I feel sad for people though. I think it's the saddest thing to think something will get better.
Yeah. And you should never, ever, ever expect something to get better if it's by one author. The only reason you should ever think it would is if you know that a different person's going to write it, because it never will. It just won't. It's crazy to me that people ever think that something will get better.
Let's go on to the next one. Thinly veiled Mormon propaganda. Avoid.
No! No!
Yeah.
Oh, God, no.
And that was the whole review.
That was the whole review? You can't drop that bomb and not try to convince me that you're right. You just can't do it.
Oh,
it's just mean.
But don't worry to this one, because on Goodreads, you can reply to reviews. So I have a couple replies.
Let's hear it.
So the replies. So you know that the author is a Mormon, and thus this is all you can do to justify your one-star review. How about actually reviewing the content of the book?
Yes.
Then another reply. What the fuck is Mormon propaganda?
Orgasmo.
And then another reply. There isn't even Mormonism in the book.
I do not know enough about Mormonism to say if there is anything metaphorical towards it. To me, this really just came off as somebody who's struggled with their faith describing that process in a way that's probably applicable to anyone with faith. So if you're very, very knowledgeable about Mormon stuff, you can let me know that I'm wrong in some way, but I don't think so.
Then the person who posted the original one replied to these replies.
Wow.
Oh, thank God.
Okay.
And then their reply was, I don't need to justify shit to you.
Oh, man. Joe, why would you do that to us? You knew I'd be excited to hear that.
Yep,
Why even reply?
Because this is the type of loser that does stuff like that. They just feel impotent and stuff. It's like, shut up. You're okay. Waste of time. That's all I say.
It is. It was. Yeah, no,
All right.
it's so funny to me. So funny to me. What you learn is nothing on these. Every time I think I'm going to learn something more about people, you learn a lot from reading like a bad book or watching a bad movie. I think I'm going to learn that about people from these reviews. And every time it's just stuff I already know. People are stupid. The end.
Yeah, and I already knew that. This is why I hate
Yeah.
doing these. I hate doing these. This is
Yeah,
like
but Joe
driving down the
sets them up
street.
specifically to make me think something. It's always this, no period, end of review. Like, oh, fuck you.
All right,
And he
next
responded
review.
and he said, fuck you.
Art.
Wow, how insightful.
All right, next review. Well, it ended as I predicted. If I hadn't read
Wow.
Elantris first, I would put Sanderson in with Sarah J. Maas as completely trashy writers.
That's
I
funny
agree with
because we bring
that,
her up a
but
lot for some reason.
it's like I would actually compare them a little bit because they're super popular with their like the niche audience, you know.
Is that the
And they
only
have
way you'd compare them?
and they have a ton of books, and they're from like different worlds, but are also kind of connected. So yeah, they're actually kind of similar. Wow, I never made that. Okay, okay.
Some of the most boring main characters ever. The side characters had me almost liking this book, but then it would go back to Vin or her drab husband. I only finished this series because I bought it after reading Elantris, and I regret it so much.
Okay, we get an explanation of why he finished. So that's something. I would like more information, but nothing in here that I thought was too stupid or offensive. Am I missing something, Shita?
And what?
In this review, it seemed pretty normal.
Yeah, I guess. Are these 1 star or 2 star?
These are all 1 star.
Let's see.
And I know I was listening in like one of Brandon Sanderson's lectures for the class he teaches. He was telling the people that the ones that you really need to pay attention to are the 2-star reviews.
Yeah.
He says because he said the 2-star reviews are the people who had something they liked about it, but then you really let them down. The 1-star reviews just hated it all.
I've said before, that's always why on like Amazon or something, I always check the 2-star reviews. The 1 stars are almost always a joke.
Mhm. Either someone just
2 and 3.
trollingly hating it.
Yeah.
I like I like the 4 star too, because I'm like, what's the one
Yeah,
thing that made you like dock a star, you know?
I agree. 2, 3, and 4 I like. 5 and 1 are almost worthless a lot of the times.
Yeah, 5 and 1. They either
Yeah.
kiss asses or
Yeah.
just people who want to
Didn't
hate
understand
everything.
the product they bought.
Yeah. It's like,
This didn't work. I threw it at a wall only once and it broke.
yeah. My favorite's like, it's not white. And I was like, it says beige. Why did you think it was white? Oh my god. And it said it right on the review, so I don't know why. I mean, like that they bought the beige version. Anyway, same thing. Same things with these reviews.
All right. I gave up. I thought the first book of this series was great. The following 2 books seemed like... Oh, this is a new review, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I gave up. I thought the first book of this series was great. The following 2 books seemed like the author was trying to piece together a story as an afterthought of the initial book's success. Battling some spirit enemy sure is boring. I couldn't care less about Sazed's struggles with religion.
Jeez.
Sanderson rewrites the laws of allomancy and adds countless details of hemalurgy. Very disappointing.
How's that
Now,
rewrite the laws of allomancy?
Because they don't know what they're talking about.
Oh, that's a good explanation. Okay.
Yeah, just again, they just are misinformed or something.
Well, I
It's
think
called
they took
being
the idea.
dumb.
I think they took the idea that, all right, you have allomancy, this is what it is, and that's everything. But the thing with the story is that we're told what the characters know, and they don't know everything, is what the story was getting into. And we were learning along with them that there's other parts of this that we don't know. If you read all of Mistborn knowing how all the magic works, you can see that stuff. You understand it all. But the first time going through, you don't know it all, and you learn it as you go. And there's more to
Learn?
it.
Joe.
What's that?
Yeah, I think you're confused. When I play a video game and I get a power and then I get a new power later, I always drop the game immediately because they're just changing the rules of the game.
Okay. I already mastered this part. I should just have this part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know why I need to learn other things.
Yeah. My Bulbasaur's fine with just tackle.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need these grass type moves. I'll just use tackle.
Mhm.
That's why the only Pokemon I use is Magikarp.
I was so pissed when I was playing Mario, and then I got a mushroom, and it made me bigger. I just broke the lore of the game to me. Could not stand it.
All right, let's continue the review. Now, I wonder if the first book was near as good as I thought. The story wasn't the most compelling, but I didn't care because I thought the idea of Alamancy and the fights with it were so exciting. Sanderson shouldn't have killed off Kelsier. Maybe this series would have been a lot better if he hadn't.
I can guess shouldn't have killed off Kelsier is a very common review for low reviews.
I mean, yeah.
Well, let's
feel
think
for
too,
you.
because I feel, yes, you lose Kelsier, but this guy said he likes the fights. I feel like the fights, especially in the third book, were a lot more exciting than anything in the first book. Do you guys agree with me or no?
Vin and Ellen do a lot more exciting things than Kelsier ever did because their powers are
Mhm.
even better, higher than his.
Yeah, and
Well-
they've got to deal with things even crazier than him.
Mhm.
I would say the Kelsier versus the Inquisitor fight in the first book.
Well, of course, that fight's badass as hell. Yeah.
That one was
But
good. But the Vin versus the 13 Inquisitors at the end, that's just great. That's better than the Kelsier one, I feel.
I just feel things like specifically some of those war scenes with the Koloss, the whole fight at the end in the second book, where you've got Sazed and people doing all this crazy shit. Like, if you're just an action fan,
at the end. Like,
yeah, that too. But that was kind of quick. But yeah, I feel like the third book, if you're just an action bro, that would be the one with the best action. But
To be fair,
I don't know. Maybe I need this guy to explain me.
This review did start with the words "I gave up," so they probably did not see the Koloss fight at the end.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
well, that's why you never give up. Never surrender.
I totally disagree. I think that if you think the book's gonna suck, you probably shouldn't finish reading it. Like I said.
Sometimes I think people who give up don't deserve to finish it, so that's fine.
Well, of course they don't. Yeah.
All right, here we go. Let's go into the next review.
Man, these are short as fuck.
Yeah.
Good.
This book is hampered by several weaknesses. It is too long and
Uh-huh.
repetitive, which makes you wish for a fast forward. Whilst the previous books had some good writing from time to time, in this, the good bits are...
That's so vague, but go on. I'm sorry.
In this book, the good bits are further apart. Portions of Spook's plotline are okay. Plot resolutions
No
are explained
explanation. No explanation of good or bad writing.
Plot resolutions are explained ahead of time, so by the time the resolution arrives, it is not very surprising or exciting. Characters' development consists of angsty doubt followed by a resolution to stop being angsty. There's a certain amount of exploration into whether the end justifies the means where the characters resist the dark side, about as much as Anakin Skywalker. Not much.
You know, when
Well,
you
don't talk shit
I'm
about Anakin.
sorry to be all nitpicky. Yeah. When you say they resisted it about as well as he did, the whole reason for using that metaphor is that we know what you're saying. If you then add in as in not much, you've kind of ruined the point of even bringing that up in the first place.
Now we're rating the review. 1 star.
Yeah, 1 star. This review's 1 star out of 5.
Full of holes.
Yeah.
The worst fault of this book is that portions of it is devoted to religious preaching.
Only portions, huh? Gee. I'd say a lot more than that.
Much like the third book in the Ender's Game series, this is devoted in part to what can only be described as apologetics for religion, highlighting the virtues of blind faith in some sort of bizarre Pascal's wager.
Okay, I'm sorry. There was no apologizing for religion. This was a very pro-religious book. I don't think it felt it had anything to say sorry for. If anything, it was apologizing for temporary atheism, I would say, more likely. Like saying, sorry, we
Sorry,
did
we
that
almost lost our
because,
faith, but we got it
yeah,
back.
exactly. Saying it's unreasonable to be faithless, even though it seems so obvious to be.
Oh, 100%. And that it's useless to be
Apol-
faithless.
Apologizing for religion is what a lot of like those hard, extreme left wing streamers do for terrorism overseas. Saying that religion is good and it will be a benefit to your life, that is not apologizing to religion. That's just the theme of the book. And I feel very annoyed by that because I feel like that's a common complaint that some people are going to have about stories like this that just disagree with them, which just drives me
Mm-hmm.
nuts.
Mm-hmm.
When people think, well, obviously my opinion is right, so anyone who goes against it is just justifying it, drives me
Mm-hmm.
crazy. So
And I just find it
2 out of 5 stars on this review.
And I just find it weird that someone can go through the first 2 books and all of a sudden get annoyed with the religious talk in the 3rd book.
Well, the first 2 books were if you're an idiot, anti-religion, I'd say, because the religion was hurting people. That would be my only guess to justify that kind of thinking.
All right, here we go.
Wait, was that it? God, Joe, I'm so disappointed by these.
All right.
What do you expect?
I expect more than one sentence.
All right, here. I'll give you this longer one. Not super long, but all right. So, new review. I'm pretty sure this is the worst book I've ever read.
Wow.
It was extremely misogynistic towards the main character we love. Whether it be the violence Vin experiences and how it was written, to her how to be a wife arc in this book, to her personality removal, or to her ending.
I feel like I missed something here. Okay, her how to be a wife arc, what would that be in relation to?
Being or marrying Elend? I guess you could say that. She does learn how to communicate with him, and they both kind of learn.
They did that in the second. So the person made through the second book and thought it was not misogynistic, but now this one is.
But Vin actually becomes our main character in this one.
Yeah, I feel that if anything, it's how Elend learns how to become a husband who just says, you do what you need to do, honey.
I trust you.
Yeah, basically.
And that... all right, let's continue.
And I'm sorry, and violence against our beloved female lead. Yeah, the violence was brutal, but like, what does that have to do with her being a girl? That's crazy to say.
You shouldn't hate girls, Justin, no matter what.
Yeah, he caught me. We all just really get off on all the pain and damage she's going through in this book. That's why we read it.
Yep, they're all... Oh, I won't say this. Never mind. Okay.
Everyone knows that the best protagonists have nothing bad happen to them ever.
Like Ready Player One.
Mm-hmm.
And that ending. Not only was it horrible and not at all clever like the author thought it was, but it was offensive. What the heck is up with that? So, because he doesn't have balls, he is neither man nor woman? Fuck off.
Oh, sorry. I was really hoping for someone to say something about this.
Right.
Yes.
I would like to add in...
you can't just gloss over that. What do you say?
What?
I was always curious.
Are they adding in something, or are you?
No, me, Joe.
Okay, you go for it, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to add in, it's not the story saying he wasn't a man or a woman. It was Sazed throughout all the books personally thought he was neither man nor woman.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it was. It was his own mind. He always thought that, even when he was told otherwise by characters like Tindwyl. So it went along with what his own, what he saw himself as.
His own thoughts and insecurities always talked about that, you know? He's like, Tyndall, why would you want me? I'm not a real man. Like, he says that all the time.
Mm-hmm. Also, it's prophecy stuff. It's not... The whole point is that it speaks vaguely, you know?
That's hilarious.
That gets a fuck off? That's how offensive that was? Is this person a eunuch? That's the only reason I could see them being so pissed off.
Maybe.
They're like, I am too a man. And I'm just going to say, yeah, I'm not a eunuch. I've never been a eunuch. Hopefully I never will be. But I would imagine that would be a pretty rational self-consciousness to have about that, you know, since we link that very logically so much to, you know, that part of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, like what is being a man?
Mm-hmm.
It just disgusts me that we get a fantasy book with a female lead with a clear hero's destiny and it's ripped away from her. It is not clever or submersive.
So that's
It's
what they're
bad
mad
writing.
about. I see. That makes sense. That's what they're mad about. They just wanted Vin to actually be the hero of ages.
She did kill Ruin and kind of
Yeah.
save the world there.
I
So
Sazed
she just
agree.
reshaped
cleaned
it.
up the mess, huh? Like a woman should.
Yeah, that's it.
And then it's made the way for a man to come and take the credit.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
That's an interesting take, and it's really interesting to me that this person sounds like they enjoyed the book right up until that moment. But they weren't pissed that Vin died. They were pissed. That's an interesting review. I enjoy that one.
It's funny because I kind of felt like that too, and I was like, I was really sad when Vin died, and I was sad that Sazed was the hero of ages.
Mm-hmm.
Not because it wasn't Vin, but I kind of was like, I told you how I felt about the end of, and I was like, my annoyance is that it's just because you're Sazed, Brandon, like like.
All right, continue the review. The writing was horrible and sometimes unreadable, and I was fine reading Mistborn. It read like an outline way too many times. The book was also really long for no reason.
How much
I think
longer
it's
was it
funny
than
when
the other
people
two?
say that.
Well, train.
That's so cozy. There's a train passing through Stardew Valley.
All right, so this book was actually shorter than Well of Ascension by a little bit.
Okay.
I think it was like 20,000 words or 30,000 words more than Final Empire, but it was a little bit shorter than Well of Ascension.
I see.
All right. And what was with the ableist crap? The book had our heroes degrade a man with a physical disability.
I was hoping for someone to say that.
Oh God, no.
Oh yeah, bring it on.
I already find anyone who uses the word ableist unironically, I already tune out. But to try to defend a guy who's that big of an asshole, you know?
Yeah, poor old Set.
Yeah.
Is it Set? Yeah.
Also, that
Alright.
part was funny, by the way.
The coda was dumb too. Great. Spooks is a proper man with all the powers and a girl to bang. Don't forget about this old dude.
What's the problem? Why do we not want Spook to get laid? What's wrong with that?
She's a hater.
I guess so.
Don't forget about this old dude who has his own young fang. And I haven't forgotten about our main characters. As you can see, I've summarized their endings with a letter that I had God leave on the grass that says, "Don't worry, your female lead isn't without a husband and her surrogate father figure in the afterlife."
What the fuck? You're making this up. Nobody said that. No way in hell did somebody say that. That's the craziest shit I've ever heard.
A perfect review. This is hitting every single mark. You know,
this is
like
crazy.
That I would
this has to be parody.
Yeah.
Who
we got
could
everything.
read that? Yeah.
Wait, we're
Who
missing
could
one
read
element. Is it done yet? Is that it? Is that the end?
Yeah,
of
they
the
haven't
review?
called it racist yet, right?
Yeah,
Sheta?
yeah. He forgot racist.
No, I've got one more paragraph.
Okay, maybe we still have time.
Well, no, let me just say, who could read that ending? Who could possibly read that, where the ending says, "And she is alive in heaven with those she loves," and think, oh, of course, her happy ending is being with a man and her father figure.
And
That's one of the most fucked up things I've ever heard somebody read. Those were like...
Justin, are you okay?
One, being with the person you love is so obviously what heaven is for. And two, that's like her mentor. You know, that's the person who dragged her out of the dirt, like out of her horrible life. Like, what?
These people don't want to get out of dirt.
Yeah, what heaven ending could have been written where it wouldn't, in your mind, be sexist? That's what I want to know.
Where she would be the new god of heaven. Because
maybe that's the only way to not be
woman.
sexist, is if she's God. Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe.
That was the ending they hoped for.
That's crazy, man. Crazy. All right, I'm done.
Last paragraph for this review. Ole Sanderson here to remind you that women can't be gods, as he has both of the original, in a sense, godly figures as both men, even though one of them is called preservation. And every damn civilization has a Mother Nature myth.
Oh my god! What the fuck did you just read? So, the moral of this book was Brandon Sanderson just making sure to remind society women can't be gods. That was the point of this book. Old Sanderson, old racist Sanderson coming in and saying, you know that dogma shit? Fuck that. Women can't be gods.
There's more to this paragraph.
No.
And when our heroine takes on these powers, she's only spurned to help when her husband dies. Even though it has been Alright, this next part, even though it has been a clear trait of hers from previous books that she cares about helping other people, including strangers. And she ends up dying anyways. Because a true god doesn't have balls, literally. Oh my god, I hate this book.
Oh, Sheta, you take it. I can't do this one anymore.
I'm stunned.
I'm broken. I'm stunned too. Okay.
I don't know how someone wrote this all. Like,
this can't be real.
Yeah.
This has to be parody, right?
Like, are you not aware of yourself? Is what I think. Like, this isn't real. Yeah, I don't believe that. Someone did this as a joke for us.
Yeah, for us specifically. Joe went and wrote it.
Joe, did you write this?
Oh man. Okay, remind me, what was it? So she was only spurned to help because the one thing in this world, true love, that would keep her from willingly killing herself, died. And that is, she was only inspired to help because she's always run around helping the innocent. That's her well-known thing she does in the books, apparently.
It's not.
because of
Vin said multiple times, yeah. It was that finally gave her the strength to be the hero she needed to be instead of what it actually was, which is that Elend has always been her anchor and he's dead. And now she can have the strength to do what's needed and leave the world.
Also, they're acting like she didn't try to do anything before that. She just sat there and was like, and I need a god. What do I do? What do I do? Like, she attacked him multiple times. What are we talking about here?
Yeah, they did not stand because, like Justin said, she attacked him multiple times, but he was able to rebuff her because they were equal in strength. The only way
was he able to rebuff her because he was a man? You don't know. Could be that.
No.
Now that we know what old Brandon's all about, I've got to read everything through a different lens.
The only way she could have defeated Ruin was by using up all her own power and destroying him. Mm-hmm. The only way he could have by killing her. And then once Elend died, she had no reason to live, so she still did everything to save her. She just had to price to it, and Elend had made it easier to sacrifice.
Mm-hmm. The moral is about love. It's not men and women. Love and trust. You know, what are you fighting for in this world? What's the point of living and dying? You know? To take this whole story that's about so many things and boil it down to, well, if you have a dick, you can be God. No, not if you have a dick. If you have the right chromosomes, you can be God. You know, is the craziest thing. I would love to search this person down and read their reviews of the other books. I would love to see that very much. And see what they thought the moral of this story was going to be.
Or is it going to be the same exact review for, like, every book?
Well, they made it this far. Sheta, are you trying to tell me that this review was not worth listening to? Are you trying to tell me that? That this did not change your paradigm?
No.
I wanted to say, this is probably the kind of person who probably liked the first book because they probably liked when Kelsier died. Because they were like, good, get him out of the way so we can follow a woman. I don't care who the woman is, but a woman.
Well,
like, they don't actually
book,
care
it's just the
about
woman,
Vin.
Justin, because there's only one.
Yeah, how did they make it that far? Yeah, you think it's one of those people?
Well, yeah. No, when we read reviews like this, it's just so revealing to me because it's like every aspect that is complained about I've seen a million times from other people like this, and it's
Mhm.
not even a real opinion at this point because it's just following the list of things that are wrong. So I don't trust
That
them
one
as
certainly
even a
did.
real opinion because I've heard it a million times from people who
But you know
just
what
want to
they
hate.
say? That's the most recent PC download, right? Whatever like side of the NPC spectrum you are, you just say whatever you downloaded into your brain.
Because they didn't miss a mark. It was so crazy. They just got every aspect to that. Every
Hmm.
they just hit everything that would be hit if you had the same thoughts about, yeah.
About other topics.
Yes, about other topics.
If you told me that that was parody, I would completely believe you. That's how much that's what Sheta's saying it is. Like, just by the paint by numbers opinion you're supposed to have at the end of the book.
I feel like, yeah, you
You
know
know,
what?
some.
Let's have a
Mhm.
challenge where let me write a review like that and try to get every aspect, and then I'll compare it to the next 1-star reviews.
Yeah, we'll see if our review is more or less absurd than a real review as a straight parody.
Mm-hmm. Like,
We'll
okay, what can
write
we
we'll write
complain
one.
about? We gotta complain
We'll
about.
you write one on each side. You'll write the one about how Brandon Sanderson is sexist. You'll write the one about he just only likes girl bosses. You know, we'll write both of them.
And of course, the Mormon propaganda one has to be thrown in there.
I wouldn't even know how to write that one because those people never elaborate.
Hmm.
I don't know what their opinion is.
I don't have one.
Joe, can I ask you, for every single book he ever writes, will there be a review calling it Mormon propaganda? Is that just going to be a thing?
It's been a couple now. I'm just,
I think so. And
you know,
that's not the last Mormon propaganda one we have for Hero of Ages.
Oh, God. Well, as long as they go into their thoughts, then I will allow it.
Yeah. And
I
it's the
just
sort of
can't.
stuff where it bothers me because it's like just because he's not allowed to write about religion because people just always call it Mormon propaganda.
Mm-hmm,
You
mm-hmm.
don't get that about other fancy writers. Other fancy writers, different religions, they'll make up their
Hmm.
own religions for the books. Nothing. But since he happens to be Mormon, there's just this weird thing where that he's trying to convert everybody to it or something instead of he's just writing a fantasy book.
I can't
Even if
believe
he
that people
was.
are
Oh,
so.
sorry.
I can't believe people are so bullying and mean. It's like nitpicking a one specific aspect of somebody and then teasing them about it. I just, I just thought we would be more
Sheta,
open-minded
did
and
you just say
accepting.
you can't believe that people nitpick one element of somebody and tease them about it? You can't believe that?
I'm just surprised that it would be here. That's all.
You know, sometimes I think people read books and then write reviews and movies too, just to do that specific thing.
Hmm.
Only
So
45
this
more reviews, Sheta, don't worry.
all right. So this one's only one sentence long. Really unfortunate that all characters have to have superpowers.
Oh, okay.
Um,
That's a
that's
personal preference one. I really can't fault you for that opinion.
really
Uh,
unfortunate. Interesting wording.
it is a book about I like this one. Compared to
And
that last one. Oh, and he gave it 1. Jeez.
Man,
Ellen becoming a Mistborn really set them off.
that just made it a
Yeah, apparently
1-star
so.
review.
No, it's everyone has to have superpowers. That means it can't just be Ellen.
It doesn't
Seth
work
doesn't have
because
powers.
set.
He has triple powers.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I felt like that at the end of Shazam, but like,
Yeah, I felt that way at the end of Shazam too. That's not what we're reading. That's a very specific thing to bring up here.
I just feel like maybe they just don't like, here.
All right.
It's just that when you have a special character and then everyone's special, just like Syndrome says, then nobody is. Everyone's just freaking flying around having superpowers. It's not interesting.
All right. Sheeta,
Are you
in
really defending
Shazam's
this review, Sheta?
Sheeta, in Shazam's movie, who those characters are, all of them are gonna get superpowers.
And I wasn't looking forward to it.
You could make the argument that you're kind of annoyed with how big the Marvel family has gotten. I just liked it when it was
I'm
just
very
Captain Marvel, Mary Marvel, and Captain Jr. Not a big fan of
Hard
the other
disagree.
three.
and maybe
We need
Uncle
the three
W.
Lieutenant Marvels. We need Hillbilly Marvel, Fat Marvel, and Skinny Marvel. We need Uncle Marvel. We need Hoppy the Marvel Bunny. It's Taki Tani as an honorary member. Didn't get any
You
of that
know,
in the sequel.
yeah, at least that's more interesting. It's not just like a bunch of other kids. Like, what is that? I don't like.
All right, so next review. 2 plot holes in a long book. If it weren't for those little buggers, I might have given it or a 3. However, these plot holes, inconsistencies, are so important for the resolution of the story. No, not important, crucial. Without those 2 little holes, Sanderson would not have been able to finish the book the way he wanted to. I'm sad, very sad that it has ended this. I did love Ernie, and they do say that the destination is not as important. In this case, I ended up in disappointment. But it was a nice drive. And that's the end of the review.
Joe, I swear to God. I
You're
swear to
doing
God.
this on purpose.
And the whole time I'm like, if he doesn't get to what
Me
these
same.
fucking plot holes are, I swear to God, I am going to kill Joe. God fucking damn it. What is wrong with you? Why would you even... Why
This
would
is why
you
I
say...
hate it. It's just frustrating.
With that one especially, if he said,
Yeah.
this book has a bunch of plot holes, fuck it. I'd be like, whatever. No, it has 2 specific plot holes that were horrible.
Uh-huh.
They ruined the whole book. If it wasn't for those, I'd give it 3 stars.
Yeah. How can you do that? What
And
kind of a cruel person would do
He
that?
Fucking monster.
pounded in a couple times that it's 2. Yep, it's
Exactly.
2.
Yep.
Mhm.
2.
What is
And then
it?
nothing.
What is it? Oh my gosh. What could it be?
I didn't even care until you brought it up. Like, tell me what the
know.
fucking plot holes are.
And he said they were 2 small ones.
Yeah, and they were small. It would have been so easy to describe what they were.
Mm-hmm. And that it
God
all
damn
was
it.
like a linchpin for everything.
If only
Okay.
if not for those
It
fucking
must
plot
just-
holes.
It has to be the Khandra sacrifice, right?
How's
Or
that
in
a
the
plot
hidden.
hole?
Oh, okay. That it was added in.
That's not
It
a
has to
plot
be
hole.
the
There's another word for that.
Okay. I don't know
Plot
what he
hole has
was
to
talking
be-
about.
Plot hole has
What
to
do you
be
think?
that there's something that the story depended on that actually,
Okay.
if you think about it too much, it doesn't actually work in the logic of the story. Like,
Okay.
why, if, like, you know, there's just something the author totally forgot to even consider or figure out.
Hear me out. I'm trying to think like this person. It's the ATM because it should have been found already.
No, that's still not a plot hole.
That
That would
much
just be bad
ATM
writing.
would be found.
That you could call a plot hole. You could, but it wouldn't be a very good one. And here's the thing. Every story, if you think about it enough, you can find a plot hole. So it's possible to find one. He just didn't do it for us. What a bastard.
All right.
I'm mad and unsatisfied.
Here we go. Next review. Since my favorite book is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, all I seem to hear is something along the lines of, just wait until you read Mistborn, and you can't begin to comprehend the genius that is Brandon Sanderson until you've read Mistborn. Even the clerk, where I bought the whole trilogy from, smiled approvingly and commented, "Oh, you're in for a treat." Of course, I try not to have too much expectation whenever I read a book, but with all this build-up, how could I not? Also, I tend to have higher expectation whenever I pick up a Sanderson book. To say I was disappointed is putting it mildly. The first book
to be
is
fair, I fucking hate it when somebody I buy something from gives me their opinion on it.
I know. I feel that way too. Like, can I just pay you to not give me your opinion?
Yeah.
Or just
No,
do
it's-
self-checkout if you're gonna do that.
the worst is when you buy something and they give a look like, "Oh, you're reading that?"
Yeah. Oh,
Like-
you're one of those.
My favorite time was when I bought the book, Foundation. And this old guy's like, "Oh, this is a great book. I read this when I was younger. Yeah, this is a terrific book." And then he picks up Triage X with the most fan servicey cover I've ever bought. And he didn't say a fucking word after that to me. Like it's just some half-naked, busty anime chick.
You should be like, "Oh, this you gotta read." my guy.
No, he did not like that. I get so many weird looks for that book from those Barnes and Noble people.
Well, I was with you one time when you bought a Triash X book, right?
Oh, I probably.
Because I think, or either they had it, because I remember we stopped there and I picked up like 2 volumes of Soul Eater. And I think
that sounds
I
familiar.
think you got Triash X.
I always love seeing the check out people's reactions to that smut wrapped up in plastic and everything.
Yeah. 18 plus. You don't look through this, kids.
And yet they're always ripped open when you go to the bookstore.
Man,
There's
those kids.
some like little 12-year-olds like, oh yeah.
I always find it funny which manga they put plastic ones on and which ones they don't.
Yeah,
like
that's wrapped up, but not
It's
Gantz,
pretty
which has some of the
random,
most
yeah.
fucked up shit I've ever seen.
Well, I think like Dress Up Darling. Like, yeah, you'll have scenes of like Marin in like, lingerie and stuff, plastic. Rent a Girlfriend, where you literally see nipples, nothing.
Yeah, it's really random.
All right, well, let's continue this review. The first book is like going out drinking with your friends at this club they love. And tonight, the owner has even promised that an unspecified band will play at the end of the night, rumored to be insanely good. Your friends all told you how awesome this place is, so of course you get curious and want to check it out. But mainly, you decide to join in, seeing how you look forward to see this mystery band. Although the place isn't what it was built up to be, you still manage to have a pretty good time. You enjoyed the unique, albeit rough atmosphere, the dark but powerful musical theme, and the people in particular seem both nice and interesting.
This is so boring.
Apart from that nitwit Elend, and all of a sudden claims to be a world-class philosopher after a couple of drinks.
That could have been cut in half, but I get the point you're trying to say.
This is the part I hate the most about these reviews. These
no editing.
people think they are freaking writers, and they write like they put all their lost hopes of ever writing a book into these reviews, and
Jesus, Sheta.
I just hate it. It's like, oh my god, I hate you so much. Like, don't take
These
your anger out.
1-star reviews are where the dreams of humanity go to die. Jesus.
Justin, I like how you said that could have been cut in half. Because that's just the first of 2 paragraphs about the first book.
No. No, bro.
Oh my god. No.
Oh my god. Brevity is the soul of wit, homie. That's all I'm going to say. Oh my god.
The night goes on in both highs and lows. Sometimes you're having fun, dancing, or enjoying the drama that's breaking out between the VIP tables and the rest of the club. But other times the music stops so the DJ can go into specific details about protocols and the club's rules. The end of the night is disappointing as the band wasn't what you had expected, and they leave too quickly after having only played a few songs. Still, it turned out to be an interesting night and you're curious enough to return.
Bro, shut up.
Oh, I can't stand this. What are you doing?
I get the metaphor. I dig it. I dig the metaphor. That's a good way to explain it.
No,
but
it's
Jesus
not.
Christ, cut that shit down. Yeah, if you're going to say that each book is like returning to the same club on 3 different nights and having diminishing returns, that's fine. That's a fine metaphor.
Oh my god. Why do you have to write a metaphor? Just say you didn't like it. Ugh.
No, Sheta, I will take a friggin' metaphor over this book sucks. It's either racist or woke, and no elaboration any day of the week.
I hate all of these.
Well, let's continue. The second book is your arrival at the club for a second time. As you walk in, you're promised that a secret band will arrive at the night's end, and you grow curious.
Okay. However, I'm sorry, I gotta cut in. What is this band shit? What the fuck is he? Okay, I get the club, that's fine. But why does he keep thinking that there's gonna be some exciting band at the end of the book? The books weren't promising that.
At
the
some random club? Like,
yeah, well, and the books are like, yep, the Koloss are out there. They're gonna attack. You know what band is coming. It's the Koloss attacking. They've been clear about that the whole book. We're gonna take out the Lord Ruler. The whole book. They take out the Lord Ruler. What are you talking about? I'm sorry. It just really bothers me.
However, the majority of the night turns into a pointless drama, and the people you found so interesting before are starting to get on your nerves. But you decide to stay since you're curious to see if the band at the end of the night will be worth the price of admission. And it is.
Oh my God.
You have a great time. So much, in fact, that almost makes up how tediously slow and boring most of the night has been until then.
Mhm.
The third book is the equivalent of walking into the club for the third time. As you enter, you notice the club has been stripped bare of the intriguing atmosphere you felt was so compelling. The music gone silent altogether, and in the DJ in the corner rants on about protocols and whatnot. In front of you, all the people you were so fascinated by the first night, and they all proceed to beat you up. Afterwards, you're thrown out, and as you lay on the ground... Afterwards, you're thrown out, and as you lay on the ground wondering how on earth something that started out so good could hurt you so much, and the only word that seems to echo in your mind is, why?
You know, dude, you just described what sounds like the most awesome third book in a trilogy I've ever heard of.
So maybe this person likes it. Is this a good comment? How many stars is this?
1.
Mhm.
Because this is just for that third book where he got his ass kicked. Maybe you shouldn't have been such a whiny little bitch coming in and whining all the time. Then maybe they wouldn't have kicked you out. Maybe you're the problem. Or maybe the club was closed that day and you weren't supposed to go in. I have to say, though, for a book about the world ending and everyone dying and it being horrible, that's a pretty good metaphor. You just didn't understand what you were going in to read, it sounds like.
Oh,
I
don't
like
have
this
the
guy, but I
patience.
hate this guy at the same time. I like this guy way more than the previous 1-star reviews.
I don't like this guy.
I do. I dig him.
Oh, why don't you marry him?
I'm not responding to that in any way, Sheta.
All right, let's jump to the next review. I enjoyed the first book, somewhat liked the second, and thoroughly disliked the third. Sanderson's incorporation of his own religious convictions, Mormonism, come to the forefront and end up dominating the novel and the resolution of the series.
No, they don't.
It's like he tried to lend credibility to various concepts of Mormonism.
No, he didn't.
One example is the importance of etching words into metal instead of resorting to conventional means of documentation. Well,
that's not that. That's a good inspiration for that, but that's not that.
Well, Joseph Smith was a con man, so I guess it depends on who etched what in metal in the first place.
That could even, right there, be a commentary about his fears about if his religion is even true.
Yeah.
You are saying the exact metaphor of what he's working through, coming to the conclusion that his faith may not be true, but accepting that all faiths lead to the same thing and have something worthwhile to say. It's like you didn't read the book, but did read the book. Like, you read it deeper than me in that. I did not see that metal thing, but you just lost it at the end because you're a weirdo.
I can't believe that. How do you read that and see that and not think about it a little bit and be like,
Because
you
they
know,
reveal
that's
that...
probably what he was doing.
Yeah. Because he must have had this idea somewhere towards the end of the second book and then just latched onto it for the entire third book and thought, oh my God, more Mormonism. You know, Mormons and their shape-shifting wolves. God damn it. Mormons' famous distrust of metal spikes in their body. And here's the thing. Even if he was expressing the virtues of his own religion, so fucking what? So do a lot of writers. That doesn't mean he's trying to indoctrinate you.
I mean, you don't really
like,
see
isn't
people...
Aslan Jesus? Or Aslan? Yeah. Isn't that lion Jesus? Like, it's just fine. It's Aslan, that was it. I believe Tolkien has some religious stuff in there too. So, like, calm down. It's gonna be in there. It's anyone who's religious, that's gonna be a big aspect of their life, just like anyone who's atheist, that's gonna show in their work too. It's so ridiculous to think, you know, you should write, but you shouldn't take anything from your own life as inspiration in your writing.
All right. Well, let's get into the next review then. This one's going to be a little bit longer one.
Longer?
I am actively angry that I spent any time out of my one precious life on this book. I waited a few days to review it, and I'm still mad. I don't even want to spend the time writing this, but I think Brando Sando is a racist, sexist, talentless hack, and the people should know about it.
Oh, please, honey, tell me. I want to hear it.
Yeah.
I want to hear it.
Preach.
In the first book, we're introduced to the Final Empire, which has existed for 1,000 years under the Lord Ruler, who keeps Ska slaves and the ability to rape Ska women just as long as they kill them afterwards to prevent race mixing. Pretty damn horrific. Sounds like a pretty clearly evil regime according to just about any sane moral code.
Yes.
Also, there's Kelsier, a Ska, who very understandably hates the nobility and the Lord Ruler, as just about anyone would in this situation, and who leads a rebellion, which includes sacrificing himself so that the rebellion can succeed. Protagonist Vin kills the Lord Ruler, the Final Empire is brought down, all is well, except they put Vin's boyfriend, Elmo Venture, on the throne for some reason.
You had me until Elmo, but okay, so we're on the same page. The Final Empire was evil and bad. Okay. I'm curious to see where this is going to go.
Then in the second book, we get hundreds of pages about how Kelsier is actually not that great because he killed noblemen sometimes. Whereas Elmo, who objectively sucks ass at running a kingdom, is way better because he's noble and fair, even though his noble and fair principles help no one and don't let anything get done. Also, nothing happens in this book until the last 100 or so pages. Not great, but still salvageable.
So they don't like Elmo because of the plot about why the bureaucratic trying to appease everyone in a democratic way thing doesn't work. They don't like him for the plot of why you were supposed to understand that what he was doing wasn't going to work. Correct? Is that what I got there?
Oh, that's so...
So both books, they're complaining about what the moral of both books are. And also getting mad that Kelsier is a relentless fucking serial killer and he was portrayed as one. And that's bad. Okay, I got it.
Well, the other thing too with the Kelsier being, talking about how him killing the nobles were bad, it's the whole thing was, throughout that book they were talking about how Kelsier was too extreme. And the whole point was you can't judge an entire group of people based on some of them. Like, you are shown that not every noble was evil. And even in the first book, Kelsier was changing at the end. Vin was showing him a different way. He saved Elend. And even in the second book, at the end, Vin was like, you know what? I've been looking at Kelsier too much. He was actually a pretty good guy. She said that in the second book.
Yeah. This weird rewriting that the second book is anti-Kelsier is very strange to me because I felt like it was actually still quite reverent of him. Like, we all knew that it was bad to kill people in the first book, at least us with any kind of morality, because he was like gunning down Ska guards. He didn't give a shit, so yeah, okay. I'm lost on the Elmo. I'm lost on that, but okay, go on. Yeah, go on. I am very curious to see how this is going to turn racist and sexist at the last second.
All right, let's continue. This book, though. In this book, we find out that there's an actual genetic difference between Ska and nobility that makes the nobility taller, stronger, and more intelligent, whereas the Ska are made to be shorter, hardier, and have many children.
Just like,
this was done on purpose by the Lord Ruler to create two distinct classes. Supposedly, the differences are gone now because of years of interbreeding, but I don't buy it because early in the series there was discussion of how rare Ska Mistborn are. So clearly, if the gene pools are separate enough for one group to have a noticeably more Mistborn than the other, they're separate enough for divinely mandated differences to be present.
Okay, where did divinely mandated come from? It sounded more like eugenics to me. Also, is this person not aware that when people breed with a certain group of people for long enough, they develop traits that other groups outside of that breeding pool don't have? Like, is that what they're calling racist here? Like, if a bunch of redheads breed and then people outside of that don't have red hair, that's racist in some way? Is that what I'm hearing?
I think what they're calling racist is that it's saying that it's almost like they're implying that, yep, the nobles and Ska were distinct people, so as if that makes it all right for the Ska to be murdered.
That's really strange because that was never implied. Even if they were completely different, it was never implied that that would make it morally okay to kill Ska since all of our protagonists are Ska. That's weird.
Yeah,
exactly. If anything, you could say that the nobles were bred to be evil and deserve to die by that same logic.
And even if the Ska were genetically different, it doesn't change the moral thing of what was happening to them was evil. That changes nothing about the moral of the story.
Yeah, there's genetic differences in our real world. That doesn't mean you can kill people. Or that doesn't mean that our God is saying it's okay to kill people. That's weird. Sheta, you gotta have some comment.
No comment.
All right, well, let's continue on. And remember how we put Elmo on the throne instead of a Ska? Well, we can see a
Yes.
city ruled by a Ska in this book, the leader of whom follows a religion based on Kelsier and his teachings. And it's bad. Because they
Yes.
and because it's barely disguised communism. Seriously, they
Yes.
even wear red.
Hmm.
The leader of the society is evil and can't be reasoned with because he's being manipulated by an evil spirit. But not to worry, to contrast with him, we also have a city ruled by one of the Lord Ruler's priests, who keeps things exactly the same as they were in the Final Empire. And this is totally readable. Vin and Ellen both respect him and find common ground with him. I
So
I don't.
okay. One,
I,
they do find common ground, but I would not say the way he's ruling is portrayed as good, just stable. And when the argument is stability or total anarchy, I think the conversation was most people would choose stability. Also, I'm sorry, but is this person trying to say that portraying communism as something that devolves down into the strongest smash the weakest and the most corrupt rule is bad in some way? Is that what I'm hearing this person imply?
I just don't know if they read the same Yeoman stuff. Vin and Ellen did not respect him and find common ground. He was insane and was about to kill Vin. It took her manipulating the Koloss attacking for him to be like, "Oh shit, maybe I should let them in."
That's true. Yeoman is a zealot. The common ground they were able to find is that Yeoman actually has an ideology and cares about something, where the citizen does not because he's being misled by a higher power that's manipulating him even more. Because, yeah, Yeoman did come off as unstable at times.
Yeah, and it took them. The Lord was dead. The Koloss attacking Ellen's troops, and then Vin having her small Koloss attack the city for Yeoman to finally be like, "Oh shit, maybe I should help them."
Also, you could say that Yeoman's following of the dead Lord Ruler and the citizens' following of the dead Calcier is kind of two sides of the same coin. They just lead different directions. I mean, there's a lot there to work with.
That just makes it a contrast between our characters who are kind of in between all of that.
And you know what's worst about that is the citizen is also redeemed. The citizen is also reached out as somebody who's trying to do the best for the people and being manipulated by a higher power. Everyone was manipulated. It's not like they chopped off the citizen's head rightfully. They convinced him to help out, you know? So this is
Yeah,
a
no.
weird comment. I don't understand this.
The whole point is that all of these people are just pawns of
Yeah.
ruin, you know?
I mean,
Yeah.
even Penrod, who we saw as a pretty reasonable guy, was manipulated into doing evil shit.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's back to this. Still talking about Yeoman. Sure, he's still enslaving the Ska, but it's okay because the Ska want to be enslaved because they like the stability.
That was never said. I mean, if you're going to choose between starving to death and being free or eating and serving others, a lot of people are going to choose eating and serving others. But that was not an aspect of this story that was explored. I actually would have liked to see more of that, but it was not. No. It was showing how a slave state is still stable and a quote free state is still a slave state, basically, you know, when both sides are being manipulated like that.
He's a totally cool king who can totally be reasoned with, and don't worry. And the Lord Ruler himself, he actually truly, dearly cared about his citizens and took measures to protect them. Sure, he allowed the rape and murder and slavery of his citizens, but he wasn't a bad guy.
So this is interesting. You think that it's good and evil. That's what this person thinks. They don't think that everyone is coming from their own place with their own thoughts and feelings about what's right and what's wrong. And that's what our wars and disagreements are about, which is what this book
That's
was.
a huge theme in here.
Yeah. Everyone was manipulated by ruin. The Lord Ruler, the citizen, our heroes, everyone into killing each other because that's what ruin does. You know, it makes us want to destroy and hurt and not understand each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like this person wanted the citizen and his glorious people's army to march against Yeoman's throne and put their heads on pikes
What a
righteously.
small-minded person to
Yeah.
not see that. You're all involved in the stupid politics that Ruin created for you. You're really not going to see that. Like,
That's true, yeah.
And I will say, I do somewhat agree with their thing about the Lord Ruler, because I said it in the wrap-up episode. I felt like Brand Sanderson, he had Sazed even saying in the note,
It's like, ruler, he was a good man, and trying to. It's like, no, he wasn't. I do
The
feel
Lord
like I did
Ruler
say that.
tried to be a good man long ago, but he was, like they said, Ruin's been whispering in his ear. He started out from a dark place already, you know. I wouldn't call him a good man, but I would call him a cautionary tale. That's what I'd call him.
He was
Yeah.
he was an
Wait,
evil
wasn't he-
narcissist, but he still wanted to protect the overall planet.
I'm sorry, I forget. Didn't he kill the guy? Didn't he feel he needed to kill the guy to stop the well from doing the thing it was from releasing, right?
Yeah. He already hated Alendi and the whole Clenium people.
Yeah.
And Quan
That was it,
told
yeah.
him that Quan told him if you can't lead Alendi away, you have to kill him and take the power for yourself.
Well, here's the thing, you know, he hated those people, you know, he hated a lot of people, but that doesn't mean there weren't people he cared about, you know. To just say that, like, if people have, like, evil beliefs, that means that they're just a monster, is just goes against everything that most stories are about, you know. It's just sad when people read a book like this that's about that specifically, so blatantly, and then come out thinking this is a pro-eugenics book. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. You're missing the point entirely.
Yeah, pro-eugenics, anti-communism. That's what this book is, which I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
All right, let's continue on.
Continue on? Oh my god, no.
I told you, this is a long one.
Oh god.
Look, I get the whole twist Brando Sando was trying to pull about the villain.
Don't fucking say that. Don't say that again. I swear to God. Okay, go on.
I hate this
told
person.
I read these exactly how they're written. That he's trying to pull about the villain turning out to not be the real villain after all, and about moral gray areas and such and such. But if you want that to work, you have to actually create some moral gray areas. Having rapists and slave owners on one side and people who are mad about rapists and slave owners on the other side isn't morally gray. If you think it is, I have to conclude that you don't actually think rape and slavery are such terrible things.
Again,
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Again, this is justification from our time period. This is an older time period. All our fucking ancestors, every single one at some point held slaves or were slaves in some country, you know? Like, I really hate when people are just like, you know, not thinking, how do we, like, when they think humans are good at their core and they don't look at what's human about even the worst people, it drives me nuts because, like, how do you even read a story, you know, that's not like, I don't know, just a generic superhero story? Even those are more complex than this person's implying.
Mm-hmm.
Also, which fucking rapist slave owner was portrayed positively in this story? Did you not see Straff? He was the poster boy for the nobility. He was the most unsympathetic, unlikable character I've ever read. And you're acting like they're trying to say, you know, Straff actually wasn't such a bad guy. Vin chopped him in half, and it was almost treated like a joke. Like,
also, there's some throwaway stuff.
One
in
more,
there.
Joe.
Oh,
one more.
okay.
One more. Elend didn't even know. Open-minded Elend didn't even know if the Ska thought like regular people. It sounds like the majority of the nobility genuinely do not believe that the Ska have human brains, you know? So, like, that adds another layer to how you judge them adequately, you know?
There's your gray area, if you even read it.
That's right. There is your gray area. You're correct, Sheta.
Mm-hmm.
Justin,
A gray area is uncomfortable, you know? It's not a happy place.
I don't know who Elend is. According to this review, there's somebody called Elmo.
Yeah, Elmo.
I
I'm
hate
sorry.
that. That's not even a funny joke. I hate it so much.
It's
like,
not.
what is that? Why is that your joke? What does that even mean? It's not even close to sounding like Elend. I don't know why.
Also, there's some throwaway stuff in there about how the man who would become the Lord Ruler based a lot of his society on the society that oppressed his people because he was jealous of their culture. Probably seems like nothing to most people, but I've unfortunately known some neo-Nazis in my life. There are surprisingly a lot of white supremacist lesbians who go for mixed sub women. Go figure. Also, I hate it.
What the fuck are you talking about? This would be like the more adequate description would be like black groups that go, like militant black groups who enact this in America, who enact the same kinds of like anti-white rhetoric as they grew up with the racism they grew up with, not fucking neo-Nazis enacting what Nazis used to do. And then this thing about lesbian neo-Nazis. I'm sorry. That caught me off guard at the end
Yeah.
there. So lesbians were
How is that
persecuted by
relevant?
Nazis, and now they enact Nazi ideology. Is that what I'm hearing here? Who go for, I'm sorry, what was that last line?
Who go for mixed sub women. Go figure.
This
I don't
person
know.
sounds
Mixed,
like they
like
got
mixed
burned at least
race?
once.
Submissive mixed race? What the, that's, what the,
I don't know. This part I felt went sort of off the rails. I'm confused about it.
I feel like was this person a little bit tipsy when they wrote this?
Yeah, if you're a neo-Nazi going for mixed race people, you're a pretty bad Nazi. That's all I can say.
Yeah, pretty wishy-washy if I said,
Right. And this is exactly how they think of black and brown people relate to white people.
Hmm.
Right.
Who thinks that? The lesbian
the
neo-Nazis?
Yep.
Think black and white people or brown people relate to white people by thinking that they're enacting the racism they had, and so they're justifying going back at them with neo-Nazi. You know what? Who fucking cares? I'm sorry. Move on.
Okay.
That hurt.
Okay, so that's all the racism. But wait, I have even more complaints about this book. Remember how Vin is the protagonist and the most powerful Mistborn ever, and how one of the only saving graces of this series is her presence?
No,
Remember
I don't
how
remember that.
Remember how Elmo Venture Sue is a fucking dumbass who can't do anything right, but who the author has a huge boner for, so all the other characters center their moral compasses around him?
I can't listen to this.
Mary Sue Venture would have been a better one. That would have been funny.
No, it wouldn't.
Except Venture's not a Mary Sue. Nothing goes well for him ever. Nobody likes him. Everything goes horribly.
He tries to do his thing and nobody likes it and it doesn't work and he gets fired. Like, how is that a Mary Sue?
That is the opposite of a Mary Sue.
God, and I hate this kind of language. It's really gross.
It's like a word salad of popular phrases you've heard vomited out. Mm-hmm. Like, oh, I can't like this book because I was told to think this, and this. So I'll vomit that back out because I saw words that triggered me in here.
All right. Well, Elmo is a Mistborn now who is even more powerful than Vin because they're married now and we can't have a wife outshine her husband in any way whatsoever.
Yep, that's what I read from the text as well. Yes,
Please
that's exactly what I read.
Just sit down.
It's like,
I am so tired of this person.
Elend was straight up more powerful than Vin, but it was stated many times in there that Vin was a much better Mistborn. If Elend and Vin got into a fight, Vin would have killed him.
Yeah, but Joe, competence and skill don't matter. Raw power is all that matters for how cool a character is.
Didn't they take a long time to explain why Elend was, like, quote, stronger?
You mean a long time for Brandon Sanderson to force the patriarchy into his own book? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, there was a major plot reason for why Elend was stronger. It was to show that those beads, there was something about them that gave them a lot more power because they were straight up, they were just where Mistborn came from originally. There was a plot reason for it. It wasn't just because he was a man, he had to be stronger.
Well, apparently we read a different book than each other.
And other than Vin, we have 4 female named characters in this book. One's dead, the other 3 are love interests who have no effect on the plot. Okay, Beltray had a very slight effect, but not really.
Oh, a slight effect. Is that what you call it? You mean an entirely huge effect that affected like one of the most pivotal moments in the entire plot? Okay. Also, if a female loves somebody, that means they're a bad female character.
Yeah, why are you not a gay neo-Nazi person?
Yeah, like this person is.
Yeah, a lesbian Nazi.
But Hazel, you might be saying right about now, we don't care about all these silly social issues. Can't we just enjoy a book for the writing? To which I say, what about the writing do you like? Do the terrible info dumps at the beginning of each chapter do it for you? Do you enjoy getting reminded every few pages about how allomancy works and what everyone's backstory is because you clearly are a moron who forgot it already?
Hazel, I'm interested in the socio-political aspects of this book that you seem to have completely missed in every way whatsoever while reading this. So that's my response to you, you dumb pig. I'm not going to swear at these reviewers. I'm not going to call them names. I'm sorry.
I am.
You gave me your name. You shouldn't have done that.
Why? Oh, I hate people who talk like this. Oh, I hate them so much.
All right. Do the grammatical errors send shivers down your spine? Is
I'm
it the
sorry,
flat
what?
character?
What grammatical? You can't drop that and not give me some grammatical errors. You know I don't have the book open to go
Yeah, what
prove that there's
page?
if there are or not any. Give me more than that.
Are you talking about the, like, yeah, what page?
Also, Joe, I want to see this review. If there's one comma or misspelled word or capitalized word, I'm gonna butcher this person for that
Yeah.
comment.
Is it grammatically perfect?
Yeah. Go on.
What grade
I'm
do you
sorry.
get?
All right. Is it the flat characters who have 2 personality traits each? The terrible attempts at witty dialogue? The cardboard descriptions? The way that even though there are some genuinely good ideas and concepts in there, there's no reason to care about any of it. The fact that Kelsier is rolling in his grave right now because he's the only good, well-rounded thing that came out of this fictional universe and would be horrified at the direction Sando took it.
You mean Kelsier's trait of I hate the nobility? I'm gonna overthrow the ruler? Like, what? How can you say everyone else is 2-note characters and not Kelsier? That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Cool guy who sits backwards in chairs.
All right. In conclusion, if I ever meet Brando Sando in real life, I will punch him in the face.
Stop it. Jesus Christ!
Jeez.
The beauty of it all is he probably won't fight back because that would be wrong.
Wait,
You're a bad person.
what? Wait, what? Wait, what?
They're
What?
saying that they would punch Brandon Sanderson in the face and that Brandon Sanderson won't fight back because that would be wrong.
Is that
And
is that a bad thing?
Well,
He's
probably
dissing-
saying
is that
it's
a
like,
diss?
He's a nice guy.
probably like Elend and stuff, I'm going to guess.
Yeah, I'm really impressed with somebody who gets punched in the face by some little twerpy bitch and then doesn't punch them back. Like, yes, I would be impressed with him for that.
Oh, and then one last little
Come on,
PS
just
they
finish
put.
this up.
No, I'm not trying to say Quellian was a good person because he was terrible. My point is that Brando Sando chose to make him terrible and humanize him much less than he did other more terrible characters.
No, I disagree. I was surprised by the humanization Quillen got. I thought he was going to get 0. He was really, really interesting to me. Like, not ironically, the Citizen is one of my favorite characters after it reveals that he's been seeing and being manipulated by Ruin as well. It's absolutely fascinating.
Oh. If you would
so
like
in a
to,
good book, Quellian would have been a heroic communist like Napoleon, right, Sheta? From Animal Farm? Or was that the good pig who left? I forget.
Lynn?
Yeah, he was the bad
Quellian-
pig, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, the one in charge.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
A
But
good one like
he
that. That's what I'm saying.
All right. Well, let's go to the next review. We only
No,
have
that
3
was
left.
a fucking marathon. That was so painful. That was one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. But not so dumb you can just write it off. That was exhausting.
Do not do these anymore. If you are listening and you enjoy it and you want to keep doing it, please say so. Otherwise, I will not do these anymore. Like, I don't want to.
Oh, God.
All right. Here you go. Next one. Pages is undeniably a satisfying ending to the Mistborn series, which answered all my questions and more. I was left with a bittersweet feeling after I swiped to the last page, but satisfied that it could not have ended any other way. I loved the first volume. The second was a decent transition to this big boy, which almost was as excellent as the first. I expected most of the plot twists, so I wasn't mind blown like other readers, but in the same time, I was awed by Sanderson's imagination and his world building capabilities. He really is a master in this respect. I also enjoyed the way the characters grew. The element of Spook was almost inexistent in the other 2 books. Tensoon and Sazed remained my favorite heroes, and I am delighted with the way their storyline developed. The development of the 2 main characters, Vin Elend, seemed less important than some of the secondary characters, which I am not sure it wasn't the intended result. I do not want to spoil anything, so I'm not going to go into details. Why only 4 stars? Please do not be mad at me, but I have to admit that Sanderson's writing is not that amazing. It is definitely not bad, but I've read better written fantasy. Also, the dialogues were a bit flat, and I love powerful word exchanges. Even the thought battle between Ruin and Vin seemed lifeless. Lastly, I wouldn't have minded a bit of humor in the mix, although I understand why Sanderson might have thought that it wouldn't go well with the depressing atmosphere. I miss Kelsier's wit, though. How did men believe in something that preached love on one hand, yet taught destruction unbelievers on the other? How did one rationalize belief with no proof? How could they honestly expect him to have faith in something that taught of miracles and wonders in the far past, but carefully gave excuses for why such things didn't occur in the present day? One of the most interesting themes for me was Sazed's search for the true religion and for the meaning. He does try to answer some of the questions and doubts many of us have regarding a supreme being. Food for thought. It is a series worth reading. I love most of it, and I will definitely read more Sanderson in the near future.
Is that it?
Yep, that's it.
So did this person hit the wrong fucking star? Is that what this is?
Nope. One of our comments for the past 1-star reviews said, "Hey, randomly you should throw in like a 3 or 4-star in there. That way you'll get mostly positive with some legitimate criticism, because that would piss off Justin Sheta more."
That was a very reasonable review. I have no review of that review. Everything you said made perfect sense for where you're coming from. Especially following up that fucking shart that we just had to listen to deeply for so long.
That was the point. You hear something that's well written and gives criticisms that make sense. That way what you hear next will be even worse.
Oh, fuck you. Fuck you.
Wasn't my idea. That was a...
Sheta, any comments on that review?
I mean, it was honest, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Just a personal opinion, so
Yeah.
Whatever.
Gave a reasonable reason for why he docked a star.
Yeah.
Why can't 1-star reviews be written like that? I genuinely believe there are people who would hate this book who aren't going to sound like they're fucking mentally deranged while trying to write down why.
Yeah, I don't know. I want to see a genuine, very thought out. You know what? Maybe I should do 1-star reviews for books I hate, and do it. Give me your, like, a really thought out reasons and stuff. Reasons, grade it, give us the footnotes of like what was spelled wrong and
Yeah. What were the damn grammatical errors? I swear to God.
Yeah.
You don't just drop that one and expect to be like, you're right, you're right.
Sometimes, like, I'm like, oh, they spelled that wrong, and I make a little note, like, in when I'm reading. I don't know. I feel like that's just a little extra diss they wanted to throw in without any real evidence.
Yep, and this one, it was Nin
Oh my
Brannon.
God, wait. Were the grammatical errors those words that were capitalized because they were actually important? Was that it?
Yeah, I was going to say, are these
that would be funny.
choices? Because that was part of the book.
Right. And it was Nin Brannon who said the comment where it said, maybe at the end or in the middle, you could give them a 1, 3, or 4-star review with reasonable criticism. It might serve as a treat, or it might increase the agony by contrast.
Yeah.
It depends what you're going to follow that up with.
I was kept waiting to flinch and be like, all right, when's this shit?
I thought he was going to say, and that review was posted on April 1st or something like that.
I thought you were going to say, yeah, and the characters are really great. Was what I would have said if this book was good. Like,
that's what I was prepared for too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, 2 more reviews. A short one, and then we'll finish off with a long one. So, the short one. So boring. A lot of repetition and too much theological nonsense. I read that the author is Mormon, and it shows.
Oh my God.
Yep, sure does.
The world building is totally devoid of any sexuality, and that after all the theological philosophy...
Did I hear that right? Did I mishear?
The world building is devoid of any sexuality.
What? What? Okay, go on. What?
Okay. And after all the theological philosophy, it turns out that there is only one true God/religion. 3 guesses which religion that is.
Not Mormonism, that's for sure. What the fuck are you talking about?
Too bad, because this series started out great. Also, I want them to tell me what the one true religion was, because I read the book too, more than once, And I don't know what that is, because I remember
It
the
would
ending showing there
be-
was truth in all religions.
Yeah, it would be whatever entity is beyond all that they implied, I would assume. And for some, God knows what reason, he assumes that that means that it's Mormonism out there that's the true religion. No, I don't know a lot about Mormonism, but I don't think they have Cosmeres in it, as far as I'm aware. Maybe I should do more research.
The whole thing was, when he got to the end, like, he finds out that even the terrorist religion, wasn't fully factual, that he was not able to just straight up prove one religion. That was the point of Sazed's journey. It was not about which one was true, it's about which one you chose to have faith in.
Hmm.
And then
I see a moral from a lot of smart people who are faithful, is that faith is like something to lead you towards a shared thing we all share that we don't know how to explain right. And that seems to be how Brandon Sanderson thinks of it based on his writings, is that faith is better than a lack of faith. I have never gotten the sense that he was like, hey, you know what's a good religion? Mormonism. I've never gotten that sense.
Your stuff is very open-minded and just it's just the idea of humanity and everyone like finding what comforts them and stuff and what works for them. Like it seems religious wise, religion wise.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like he's quite open and friendly towards that, like it is pro religion, but it is not pro specifically
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mormonism.
I'm getting sick of these militant atheists in these review columns, Joe.
Yeah, like, I even remember
There's
during
nothing more annoying than an atheist fundamentalist. They are the most annoying people ever.
even during the launches, I remember Brandon said, like, part of what he was writing was from his own experience when he was out in Korea doing mission work. One
Yeah,
thing that
mhm.
upset him is when he would see other people. I can't remember if it was from his mission or like different religion. The way they were treating like the like Korean monks for like Buddhism and stuff. The way they were yelling at them and treating them like crap upset him, and he felt like he wanted to spread his own faith, but you didn't want to try to steal or hurt other people's faiths while doing
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, you just like have no respect for what they're doing, but you go at them with violence and hate and stuff, and that's not the way to
Mhm.
do it. Yeah. It's a place of kindness and welcomingness, like it's never like so hostile and like hateful. Which I'm like, everyone just you do you don't. Why are you so worried?
Mhm. Because deep down they think their religion is fake, and them having faith isn't enough. They need to make sure the whole world does, just like these damn atheists do, who think that their atheist religion is fake, and they need to make sure everyone has it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyone
There's
who's that
something
militant about pushing their belief, I think that deep down they are afraid it's not true and they're living a lie. What were you gonna say?
well, it's the nature of being an atheist too. Like you are going towards a negative nothing direction and you want everyone else to be there too. You know?
Everyone fall into the abyss with me.
Yeah, it's like
That's
it's nothing, right? Why you know.
I said it before. It's like reading. Like, the one thing that annoyed me the most with Ready Player One is first chapter, like one of the first pages. He had to give his atheist manifesto, just like a whole like big thing saying, "Yep, the thing is, nobody ever told you and sit you down, being like, hey, God isn't real," and then goes off about all all the stuff about why God isn't real. And later in the book, he's talking about how, there's one old lady, she believed
Oh,
in God
yeah.
and stuff, and it's like, and I just did not have it in me to tell her, just so you know, there is no God. It's like,
Oh, it's so funny when people think that that would change somebody religious's mind. Like they've never thought this before. They'd be like, "Oh my God, I never thought of it that way."
the fact that he had to put his whole atheist thing literally in like the first like 4 pages of the book. It just starts off being just pushing that at you. It's like, geez.
Well,
And
that's because
it doesn't have
he-
it doesn't have anything else to do with the rest of the book about searching for these Easter eggs and all these pop culture references. Like, whole stuff wasn't there. It was clearly just the writer trying to put his own thoughts in there and try to
Well,
force
that's
it out.
because
There.
he's one of those people that need to make sure that the readers know that whatever the popular consensus is he is part of it, because that's what was the popular consensus then. Just like in the second book, he tries to like set up his very progressive like views that he suddenly developed within the last 2 years when they coincidentally became very popular in the second book, like right away, to make sure you know. So I'd imagine that if he has a third book written right now, he's going to come out and explain how he's such a huge Trump supporter all of a sudden or something like that.
Oh,
That
People
would be
like
hilarious because
that would be
would
the
not-
funniest beginning ever.
that would not mesh with the second book at all, and really would not make sense if the book's taking place in like 2040.
oh yeah. You have to stay right on top of the trends in a book like
Whatever you believe wider society will let you be part of the club, you need to say that immediately in a book. That's my biggest problem with Brandon Sanderson, is he doesn't start
Brando
every
Sando.
book. Yeah, with Brando Sando. He doesn't start every book confirming that he is part of the popular consensus. It really bothers me because I start to think like, does he agree with me? Because I just follow every single trend.
I hate that coming into books based in the future or on a magical space land, like not relevant. Like, why are you putting like things that were relevant like literally last week in a book like that will not be relevant anymore? Like, why would you expect that? I hate it so much.
There was so much of that sort of stuff in Ready Player 2.
Yeah, it was weird.
I really hope, Justin said, if he writes a third book, I really hope after the travesty that was Armada and Ready Player 2, that he's not writing the third damn book.
I don't know. If they make a Ready Player 2 movie, then he'll definitely write a third book.
Ugh. Or make an Armada movie, because
that will never happen. They already made that book. It was called The Last Starfighter.
It's okay. The Last Starfighter got brought up multiple times in Armada. My God, Armada's a terrible book. I can't tell which is worse, Armada or Ready Player 2. It's so hard.
Well, now you're making me kind of want to read it.
Don't worry, he has a super hot mom, and he makes sure to say that his mom is. It's like, yep, that's my mom. She's super hot. An insanely hot mom.
Okay, stop saying.
Well, let's get here to our very last review for this time. This will be a longer one again. This is the entire trilogy. While the last book was a 1-star experience for me, the whole series would achieve 2 stars in my opinion.
Oh, I'm generous.
The Final Empire. I kind of like the story of the first book. It's pretty simple and tells about a group of thieves overthrowing a genocidal, racist, slave-owning tyrant. It has a YA vibe about it that makes it a light read, even though it contains some atrocities happening. But everything is laid out
completely correct. Go on, sorry.
But everything is laid out plainly. There is no place for subtlety. Each character is pretty easily categorized as good or bad. The magic system is
I don't know about that.
What? How could you say that about Kelsier? He's clearly like mixed like that. Like he's super charismatic, but he murders people like cold-bloodedly.
And I'd even say about Elend, he's part of the nobility, and he doesn't think that it's evil and needs to be overthrown. He just thinks it needs work, like help, you know? Mm-hmm. And then you've got the crew, Breeze, in them. Breeze is not good or evil, in that first book.
No, none of them are.
Dox's thoughts on the nobility is as warped as Kelsier's.
Yeah.
And Kelsier tried to force Damu to kill that other soldier just to prove a point.
Yes.
And Damu stopped himself. But it's okay. Clearly good.
All
right. The magic system is interesting. It's very rules-based, which seems to be categoristical for Brandon Sanderson. The downside is, it feels like it's taken one-to-one from a video game. There are even multiple scenes that feels like a typical video game tutorial. Press X to push steel. Also, there's a lot of repetition about how the magic system works. It's okay to repeat some details a couple of times, but it feels like it's redundantly explained in almost every other scene.
What is with these people who think the magic system's over-explained? Like, is it just because they keep revealing a little more and then they keep saying, Vin pushed with this metal, and they're like, you don't got to remind me that this metal pushes. Is that what it is? Because that'd be stupid.
Is your intelligence questioned all the time where you feel very threatened by that?
Yeah, maybe it's that.
Like, I know what it is. Stop telling me.
My guess is that second thing you said, where when they're fighting, it's like, yep, he pushed Steel to throw the coin at him. It's he burned Pewter when they threw a punch or take injuries.
Mm.
The characters don't have much of an inner conflict and feel flat. And
I'm sorry, Vin doesn't have an inner conflict? Is that what she's saying?
Yep, probably. All right.
Vin, Elend, and Kelsier, I would say, all have pretty good internal conflicts.
Uh-huh.
Right. So Vin, who grew up as street urchin, only to find that she is a powerful magician, is torn because she doesn't want to wear dresses.
Magician, I'm sorry. You're a wizard, Vin. Okay, torn because she doesn't want to wear dresses. That's what I heard last.
But then when she does, she kind of likes it. I feel like there is some degree of Brandon Sanderson not being able to really understand what could be important to a female character. Because that conflict seems really unnecessary.
Oh my god. You're telling me that somebody who grows up as a street urchin and doesn't care about anything superficial, being thrown into a setting where she's forced to care about all this superficial stuff, and then finding that she actually likes being a rich person instead of a poor person is
also,
unrealistic. Is that what I'm hearing?
It's not men and
to
women here. Only
enjoy
nobles
superficial pleasures? Yeah, nobles, yeah.
Like, it's not like women ska don't wear dresses like that. It's not a woman thing. It's a ska thing. That
Also,
is annoying.
If a female who doesn't often wear dresses wears one and likes it, that's sexism.
Yeah. Get back in the kitchen with your dress.
It's very abnormal for, the only reason women like pretty things is the patriarchy, just so you know. That's just a fact, so.
Yeah. You like it. You like the patriarchy. That's sorry. That's not bad. That's
not what I said. But...
That's Brandon Sanderson. That's what
yeah, that's him. He's trying to gaslight you. Into Mormon patriarchy.
Yeah.
Also, she has to learn to trust people, which seems rather cliche at this point.
What do you mean this point? Because other books are about learning to trust people, it's cliche to do a book about learning to trust people? Is that what I'm hearing?
I'd assume so.
Yeah, I read a book that had a theme, so I never want to see that theme repeated ever again. Especially when it's a deeply human theme that everyone can relate to.
Also, I don't know if that's cliche. I think it might just be,
I would say a story of a girl or a guy who's grown up as an urchin learning to trust others. There's probably a trope name for that. But again, tropes aren't bad, you fucking moron. I'm sorry, I'm losing my patience. I said I wasn't going to call him names.
I know, I'm at my limit. Sorry, bro.
Kelsier, the main protagonist and Vin's mentor, is conflicted because of his hatred for nobility and because Vin falls in love with one of them.
I'm sorry, I thought you said they didn't have enough conflict.
But it really doesn't affect anything too much, honestly. For a YA novel...
What? It's the entire reason he changes his philosophies at the end of the book when he dies. What the fuck? If he wouldn't have went back to save Elend, things would have went very, very different,
For a YA novel, it would be alright. But since I expected some epic fantasy, it felt a bit dull.
Define epic fantasy.
I don't know. I'd expect maybe Wheel of Time, Lord of the Rings, maybe something like that.
Yeah, I didn't expect Lord of the Rings when I started this book.
While the story itself is quite serviceable, the writing style leaves a lot to be desired. I don't think a simple style is inherently bad, quite the opposite. I adore Joe Abercrombie style, which doesn't come with complicated sentence structures and elaborated metaphors. However, in The Final Empire, the style is not only simple, but also bland. It lacks all subtlety and tells us what to feel about everything. Also, the dialogue feels contrived and still generic. It would be impossible to tell who is speaking just by reading the lines of dialogue. The endless repetition is the final nail in the coffin for me. I was barely able to enjoy the book, which is why I rated the book 2 stars.
I disagree about the dialogue. I think maybe with some of the characters, sure. But I think you'd definitely be able to tell when Kelsier, Vin, and Elend are talking. They talk very different from each other. The rest of that's just a... Yeah, Spooks, come on, that's a cheat. The rest of that's just opinion, so I can't say anything negative about that. There's nothing wrong with those opinions. This guy turned into a different guy in the second part of the review.
Sometimes I feel like they feel a little bad for being too mean and that kind of stuff.
Well, if they're saying something objectively wrong or not elaborating, I will get mad. If they're just saying, I thought the writing style was too simplistic, that's an opinion. Different people will think a better one's better. It is not a complex writing style. That is a fact. You know, there's a reason he's so popular because anyone can pick
Yeah,
these
that's what I was
books
gonna
up and
say.
follow
That
them.
does not.
Hmm.
Yeah,
I've
I
read
was
writers
saying
say who can write more
God.
complex that they purposely don't. What was that?
Nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing.
but-
God.
Oh, I lost my train of thought. No.
All right. Well, now to their Well of Ascension section. I like the second book better than the first, partly because the stakes seemed a lot higher than with the first one. There wasn't only one army besieging the city, but two, and then along came the Koloss. The other reason being that the inner conflicts of the characters were becoming more interesting. Vin has become a powerful force of nature and has to reconcile her function as a weapon with her human needs for love and trust. There's also an interesting new Mistborn antagonist who tries to persuade her to leave Elend and join him, because how can anyone understand her who is not a Mistborn? Meanwhile, Elend struggles to put his democratic ideals and the rule of law which he wants to bring about into practice during this time of war. Obviously, he has never heard of martial law. Another strength of this book, and Sanderson's books in general, is that Brandon Sanderson seems to be a great craftsman concerning plot and world building. It's obvious he spent quite some time at the whiteboard plotting everything out. He manages to let the reader guess quite accurately about plot twists and feels smart, but then he will also put in just another little twist that keeps things interesting. The Well of Ascension turned out to be an actual page turner for me. So why did I still only give...
Yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
So why did I still only give 3 stars for the second book? Firstly, there's still the point about writing style. I didn't hate it as much as with the Final Empire here, but it wasn't really good either. What rubbed me the wrong way much more, though, was the conclusions to the new conflicts. They were handled in a way that makes it hard for me to read in any way that's not borderline fascist and misogynistic.
Wait, what? You're going to have to elaborate.
Now
Fascist, I can get fascist. Misogynistic, though, that's the part I'm having trouble with.
Now, I don't want to imply that Brandon Sanderson's any of these things, or that people who enjoy the book are. It's just that the only way I can read it, really, and it will only get worse by book 3. I'll explain, but I have to use spoilers to make my point. I cannot read about those ball gowns again, and how Vin longs to wear them, but feels she can't. This is really overplayed, and they're even appearing again in book 3.
Misogynistic is the hatred of women. To say that that is why you think it's misogynistic is a bit extreme.
Then with Elend, while his conflict is interesting, him being a theorist, not a politician, and wanting to bring the rule of people while keeping order in a time of war, it's super inconsistent. First of all, he doesn't want the law applied to everyone the same. When Vin slaughters hundreds of innocent people within the city, she just goes, "Oops, I guess I was wrong." There's no trial and certainly no punishment. Are we really supposed to think that this law-abiding state theorist thinks it's all right for people to commit mass murder?
That's an interesting question, but I think Vin being the royal assassin who is pretty much free to act on her own choices, would mean that she would be outside of the standard legal system, because it's not like she's a random citizen who did that. Her job is to do that. So that would be my answer there.
And this is a world where nobles have a Mistborn on pay, like, to do their stuff all the time and stuff. So it's not really like the same and looked at that weirdly or uncommonly and stuff.
I do think it's actually an interesting question, though, I have to admit.
She also technically murdered people of an enemy army that's besieging the city.
Yeah, but they had sanctuary. Yeah, I know. There's other aspects.
That is also true.
I just think that the question of Elend not putting her on trial for that, I don't think he would, because he said, are we asked to believe he wouldn't? I don't think he would because of the reasons we all said.
All right, and then back to the review. Also, when he loses his power, how does he regain it? Vin just kills some more and demands the lawful rulers to accept Elend as their new emperor. Sure, sounds democratic and principled. So, okay, Elend has to learn to be pragmatic and do what's best for the country. In book 3, he must besiege a city that hasn't declared war because he needs some information that is inside the city. Now, he could just talk to the ruler or use his Mistborn powers to go find out, because him and Vin are literally the only Mistborn left in the world. But no, he moves an army of uncontrollable beasts to the city, besieges it, and poisons wells. At the same time, he's always thinking about what is right, or what it right.
Yeah, and it was shown that was the wrong choice. That was the moral of that book. Because That he
It
was
was
him.
also he was clearly feeling bad about that. There was a whole part where he was like, "Well, we're not gonna outright kill him. Let's just kind of poison their wells." And he's pulling his punches because he doesn't want to be doing this.
Mhm.
Because he poisoned
And-
the well, but he also put a note right by it saying, "Hey, this well is poisoned."
Poisoned.
And he had the moment where he thought, I need to use the Koloss to kill everybody. And then it turned out that was not the right way to go because they were all being manipulated by Ruin. To rewind into the second book about how Vin does just fucking take over and force everyone to pledge allegiance, there's a real interesting question there about democracy versus, just outright benevolent fascism. You know what I mean? And it's a really interesting thing they explore. I don't think they ever
Yeah,
give
that
us an
is
official
nice.
answer. Yeah,
Mhm.
because there
we,
really isn't. What's that?
we do see that already with Ellen struggling to do a nice democratic system, and the world didn't want it. Like the people didn't
Mhm.
want it. They didn't it didn't work for what they had been living with. You know, the whole point
Mhm.
is seeing the contrast between the two, and you're like, well, we don't know what to do. Like,
Mhm. And you
what's the
got to
best
think
way?
our own democratic nation. It's not like we just said, okay, everyone, we're a democracy now. We killed everyone who was ruling over us. We killed everyone around us. And then we forced everyone to be in this democracy that we said we're going to have. With Ellen, they're trying to start this up, and he's trying to get everyone to agree with a system that just does not exist yet. And people are only going to exploit for their own benefit. It's just an interesting question. I'm glad the book explored, and I couldn't even possibly say what the answer is, especially in a medieval fantasy world with an apocalypse happening any second.
You're like,
Also,
are we
didn't
gonna
this?
really vote on this when
Yeah.
we've got like 2 days to make a decision? I thought that was
Also,
really interesting.
yeah, yeah. The idea of allowing people to vote when they don't even understand the threat that's coming. Also, is this the same guy who said about martial law earlier, or was that a previous review?
Yeah, that's this one.
So why would he say that and then say that there's fascist elements in the end of this when that's basically what they decide to do at the end? That's really weird to me. Like even our system knows that there comes a point where it's a time of war and there need to be special powers because people will not vote in their own best interest when they're scared. So just really interesting. So I don't know what he's on about.
Continue with the review. What a great and principled king. There are only two conclusions we could draw from this, and the text only leave room for the latter. Either Ellen is plain stupid, or it's good and justified to do and tolerate some violence, even if it seems absolutely unreasonable.
It's
But
not
some
that it's good.
That sounded
They just
interesting.
never said that yep, this is right, this is the good way. Like they always said it like wasn't okay, that it felt wrong, or like it's just not. It's something you to think about. It's not. They
Hmm.
never say
Yeah.
like it's
They don't say
like.
good or bad, right? They just say
Mhm.
we're being manipulated into thinking it's necessary. That's what it is that's wrong, is to think it's necessary and we have no choice, right?
Mhm.
Because violence is needed. To pretend it's not is stupid. Like, there are people who will kill you if you don't kill them. So I don't know.
It's complicated.
Yeah, yeah.
But somehow, when he's finally attacking the city, he actually pulls his troops away for no apparent reason, which makes him a good person.
Was it no apparent reason? I thought there was a reason.
The
This
reason was
person is
because he
using.
realized it was wrong.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Vin had hope that Elend would realize that, correct? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I think what it
Duh.
was
That's
is
the whole part.
Elend was thinking about it, and logically, every logical reason
Yeah,
was
that was it. Yeah.
attack the city. But morally, he realized that this just isn't right.
So the question is, do you listen to your brain or do you listen to your heart? And again, that's a difficult question, especially as a king with people depending on you.
Right. Being a good or bad person in the world of Brandon Sanderson seems to be a predetermined trait anyways. It doesn't really matter so much what they're doing. Killing 300 innocent people, no biggie. Poisoning wells, all forgiven. Arguing against Ellen's obviously incompetent rule, pure evil. It's honestly ironic the third book even tries to redeem the Lord Ruler, who was genocidal, racist, and a tyrant for no good reason.
I don't think anyone was portrayed as a moral evil because they argued against Ellen's rule, except that one guy who was trying to seize power for himself. because I didn't see that at all.
Ugh, this is
Also,
pissing
to
me
say
off.
they're just predetermined as good or evil is ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous because I would not describe Vin as a hero. You know,
No,
she's a protagonist and a good guy, but without Elend, she would have just left. She wouldn't have been doing anything. You know, Kelsier is not a hero in that sense. What's interesting is somebody like Breeze thinks he's a villain, but he is a hero. You know, so. And then we watched Spook think he was being a hero and realize he was being manipulated at the last second. This is dumb. This guy talks smarter, but this guy's an idiot. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. I'm not. Yeah,
just say it like it is.
Man, they're going to be listening to our podcast and be really sad.
I'm sorry. I don't mean it. You're not an idiot, but I think that you
Are stupid.
just because you're more articulate than those other people does not mean that your points are more founded. But at least you are thinking about these things. So you're my favorite reviewer so far.
I don't like it. I don't like all the good bad stuff. Like
Yeah.
that's clearly themes in the book.
This was a morally challenging book, so
Mhm.
different people are going to come out with very different feelings on it. And they
And,
never
like,
gave us an answer. Not once,
yes, the
you
main
know?
thing was they never concluded like this is bad, or they never tell us that was bad or this is
Mhm.
good. Like it's all
Yeah.
just people doing stuff, which is what it is in the world, and you have to judge for yourself, you know.
Yes. And that's all you can do. There's no guide
Mhm.
that'll just tell you because anyone you find will be lying to you.
Mhm.
That,
And
I'd
there's so
say, is the
many
moral of the book.
situations,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's so easy to write people off as bad, you know?
Mhm.
All right.
And they never
then-
said, "Oh, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Let's be done with
And
this."
Then their hero, then they're the hero of ages section. It's fascinating how well plotted everything is. All the pieces are fitting together neatly. That's everything good I can say about the book.
That's a huge compliment.
Aside from the fascist tendencies I've already mentioned in book 2, this one brings more misogyny.
Oh my god.
Spook is literally stalking a girl, which is framed as romantic, and obviously she falls in love with him.
Spook is stalking a girl. That is true.
But it was
However-
never romantic. Spook
Yeah,
is always
some
a
girls,
weirdo.
some girls would like that more than other girls. Most girls
Sheta.
would not. Yeah. But somebody who's
Yeah.
been imprisoned by their brother never gets outside, having somebody come out and offer a bit of a lifeline, and especially with how naive she obviously was, I totally believe how things went down there.
Mhm. And also, if she's into him, she's into him. Okay, like that obviously worked for her and stuff. So
Yeah, to pretend that there's
Whatever.
never been romance in real life that went this way, especially in a very different setting than our modern world, is naive and silly, I think. There's a lot of people who really seem to think they understand women who I don't even think they know that women are people and are a lot of different ways, you know?
yeah,
I don't know.
generalize me.
I can't say too much about that part because I did find the Spook, stalking her stuff kind of creepy. I only really started liking their relationship once he, was keeping her prisoner. Once they start having actual conversations and she was prisoner. That's where I thought it was good.
See,
Stalking
Brandon-
bad, entrapping women, pretty good. Joe.
Alright.
Yeah, see, you got to get to know her, so you have to kidnap and you just
No, you
kidding,
gotta
don't do that.
force her to get to know you, just like a Yandir does. Then you'll love me when you see how committed I am.
Oh, no. Alright, back to the review. Aside from that, the book is just Christian propaganda.
What?
Mm.
Oh my god, one of these. Oh god.
It's not even consistent within itself, though.
Because it's
Like-
not.
Yeah,
Like
because
there's-
it's not.
Like there is actually one correct religion in this universe, and the truths that the religions bear, which Sazed uses to rebuild the planet, have nothing to do with religion, but are science.
Yes. Religion
Mm.
and ideology is knowledge and wisdom handed down through generations. Yes.
Somehow, the worst part is that the characters are really boring, though.
Also, I'm
Right,
sorry,
like-
Joe. I'm sorry, bro. Have you never heard of a goddamn metaphor? It's a metaphor for how religion is useful. It's not literally, if you know all the religions, you'll know how to like rebuild a kingdom or cook a steak or plant plants or nothing, or know how gravity works. It's a metaphor. Okay.
Somehow, the worst part is that the characters are really boring, though. My interest in them peaked in book 2, then was disappointed, and book 3 didn't even try anymore. There's the new conflict that Sazed lost faith in religion, but honestly, he didn't believe in any religion in the beginning.
What?
He believed in
That
all
is-
religions.
Yeah, exactly. And that is the most interesting character arc of the series.
He's just actually depressed, so it makes no sense at all. For this, I can only give 1 star.
That's so. Oh my god. So his love dies. He believes in all religions. He realizes that by believing in all religions, he doesn't believe in any religion. So he doesn't know what happens to her after she dies, if anything. And then he tries to find what the one true religion is, and then learns that he was right from the start, and that all of them have truths that will lead to a greater whole. And that was a boring arc that you give 1 star to. Is that what I'm hearing? Oh my goodness. And where was the Christian propaganda?
Oh, it was a little
Well-
shaky, Justin. So
Well,
Yeah.
it said that there was because there was like one true religion. Once
But
again,
there wasn't.
tell
don't
me
know what it was.
what the
Yeah.
one true religion is. It made a point that there wasn't one true religion. At the end, he thought it was going to be the terrorist religion, but even then he realized, no, this one has the same inconsistencies as the other. There was not one true religion. Even the you can't even say this terrorist because they had the prophecies, because preservation had put prophecies hidden in all the religions. All of them had their own prophecies.
If anything, this was anti-Christian propaganda. This was think for yourself and have faith, but don't blindly trust, you know?
Mhm.
Because people will use your faith to manipulate you. God, I can't believe I knew it, but I can't. I'm not religious for anyone listening here, but like I can't believe how many people are just triggered if religion is brought up. They just start freaking out.
Yeah. All right. So that's all the 1-star reviews for the Hero Pages.
Thank God, Joe. Those were the worst ones of all the books.
Oh
Holy God,
I,
those were awful.
I know. These were bad. I'll have to look. We may or may not come back with 1-star reviews for Warbreaker. I'll have to see what I read, because as I was reading these to you guys, it was just getting, these were bad.
These were painful, physically painful. Some of the, like, I miss the people who didn't know how to write a complete sentence. Because, again, those were the books where they quit partway through. These are the people who read 3 entire books and then gave it a 1-star review. Why would you do that to yourself?
Yeah, the worst. The worst of the worst.
Oh, God.
Yeah, this was hard
And Joe,
to get through.
I am so curious about 1-star Warbreaker reviews. You have no idea how much.
Go read them in your free time.
I feel like people have some really good things to say about that book.
I mean, it's got some messed up parts.
Yes, it does. That's a weird, kinky book. I want to see how many people were triggered by the word heaving, and stuff like that.
Oh, man, if they think this is misogynistic,
Yeah.
wait till we see that. How many chapters are full of the description of
a story where
breast?
one woman gets forced into sexual servitude to a god king and then winds up learning to like it. Another where a woman gets godlike power and then gives it up to a man because he's a better fighter. I want to see that.
Let's do a thing
where we guess.
No, where we write our 1-star reviews based off of this. Based off of it. It'd be like, they keep going. Wait, don't forget the other woman. Like two women are having to marry or be princesses.
Mhm.
One is a hoe. The other one is an old mother. That's all women are.
Yeah. Oh, you're going with the other side. And then the last for mine is then you have a woman who seems like she's scheming and being smart, but she just gets her throat slit as a way to inspire a man to use his power. And then you've also got this fascist god monster king and his dystopian regime of priests around him who turn out to be the good guys at the end, and then the oppressed people are actually the bad guys. Ooh, that would be the funniest shit ever. I can tell you what every review will be by those people. They would
Yeah.
not like this book at all.
Oh, there's one other part about the review that you didn't touch on. People say nothing happened in the entire book. It was boring until like the last 2 chapters.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
That is
they would
true.
say that.
All right. Well, do either of you two have any of your last thoughts that you want to give on these Hero of Ages 1-star reviews?
Those were bad. Those were terrible.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah,
my
they
god,
were.
those were bad.
It's interesting because these are the wrap-up reviews too. Like, so, God, I hate them so much.
Always remember, guys, it's misogynist to like a dress.
Or to be a person, it's misogynistic to have the power of a god, use that power to kill another god. But if the next person is a man, then it's misogynistic.
Yep.
Even though Vin literally saved the world and killed a goddamn god. All right, so yeah, that's gonna be it for our 1-star reviews. As I said, we may or may not do 1-star reviews for Warbreaker. We'll cross that bridge
I'm
when
up
that
for
comes.
it. I'm honest. I'm up. Even though I feel like I just said half of them and Sheta said the other half, I don't know.
Yeah, I am curious about this, and it's just the one book, so I might be curious about this. I might have a few drinks before we do it, but let's do it.
All right. Well, yep, and everyone who's listening to this when it came out, be sure to check out White Sand when we start that in our normal episode. So, bye everyone.
All right.
Toodles.
Blah.